All right. So, good afternoon, Facebook. I'm Clint, and I'm coming to you guys now with, I don't even know what number episode this is today. 25th, I think. But I'm here with a whole bunch of people today on our 2 Cents Live, okay? And we even have somebody Skyped in, because we're real fancy like that, up here in the front. We have Amy Ruff. She's the National Director of Transcendental Meditation for Nurses. So, Amy, I want to thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We also have Marty Caplan. Now, Marty, you are the director of Transcendental Meditation.
Right. Also,
correct?
Yep.
We also have Megan and Galen and myself, guys. So I'm going to be doing a bunch of stuff here while we're talking. I'm going to be the cameraman, keeping it all going together, right? So we've actually been talking to everyone, and Megan, so let me get it back to the beginning, right? So Transcendental Meditation, if you guys don't understand what it is, Marty, I think that it would be good for you to explain it because
Sure.
You're the one that taught me and Galen a whole long time ago.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been several years already. Yeah, so what Transcendental Meditation is, it's well, many people may already know just by the name, meditation. It's a meditation. It's something you do. You sit in a chair real comfortably with your eyes closed. And it's actually quite unique. Transcendental meditation was never invented by somebody. A lot of current practices, meditations, were dreamed up or created or designed by somebody. But that's not what this is. Transcendental meditation is an ancient technique that's actually quite natural. Our mind actually does it pretty much by itself, but you need to learn how to do the actual practice. So Amy and I are both trained to teach this. I've been teaching for 40 plus years. Amy has also, I won't reveal her age. But the technique is really quite surprisingly simple, and I would say surprisingly profound. A lot of people are surprised when they learn it, how simple the practice is, especially if they've done other meditations before or other practices. And what it does in essence is, it provides an opportunity for your mind and your body and your emotions and your intellect, everything about you as a person, to get really deep quality rest. And it turns out, you need that. Who doesn't need that? No hands go up. Everybody can use a real good quality of rest. And I don't mean just like sleeping rest. There's interesting research, and I think Amy, maybe you can talk a little bit about the data on it. But the research shows that we go dramatically deeper in meditation than people experience when they're sleeping. And yet, when you're sleeping, you're unconscious, like you're not aware of anything. And with this meditation, you're not in a trance, you're not in some altered meditative state. You're fully awake, you're fully aware. But just sit comfortably in the chair, close your eyes, and when we teach people this technique, and it's real quick to take the class to learn how to do it, very simple. What you find is automatically, pretty much by itself, your mind experiences a really deep state of rest. And because the rest is so profound, what happens is tiredness, fatigue, stress, anxiety, ill health, all of that has an opportunity to just melt away. That's what Transcendental Meditation is. A very simple, natural, I want to emphasize that, technique for eliminating the buildup of tiredness and fatigue and stress.
Now, Galen and I, for anybody that really knows us, you know, Marty, you taught us meditation. I want to say that was in 2014.
Yeah, November. It's been almost 3 years that we've meditated now.
So, Galen, you're the one that you probably are the one that likes it the most out of the two of us, and it was you that wanted to do it more. And you're the one that took me to it. What do you think that you've seen changes either in yourself or really even in me? What kind of things have you noticed have changed over the last couple of years?
I think that communication skills have changed, not just between you and me for home, but for work, for anything that we deal with. We meditate together every morning, take 20 minutes a day, and we just pretty much relax, talk to ourselves, and go with whatever we go with. And you know, to me, it's about the calming, the relaxation. The technique is very, very easy to learn, and you know, it's fun.
I like it because we've been doing it for so many years. We've been doing it on the couch. We have the same couch. And it's funny because after 3 years of us doing it, we just moved our couch. And I can tell that we moved it like a foot.
Yeah.
Right? And it seems weird because we've been meditating in the same spot for the last several years. So,
There's one point that I would like to jump in and make, and I use the term, and you use the term, Galen, that it's really simple, but I want to emphasize something. It's not a beginner's type of simplistic meditation. I think that sometimes people misunderstand when we say that. When I say simple, and I think what you meant when you say simple, what we mean is, it's not hard.
Natural.
It's very natural, it's very simple, and yet, it's very profound. It's very, the level of rest is very, very deep. So,
yeah.
in one sense, anyone can do it, even a beginner. In another sense, I don't mean to diminish what it is by calling it simplistic or simple.
Well,
And yet it's easy to do it. No concentrating, we don't focus, it's not like you have to try to clear your mind.
not that I want to bash other people who meditate, but
No,
I feel
right.
like every time I'm like, oh yeah, I do TM, and everyone's always like, oh yeah, I meditate too, and I'm like, okay. So, but they're watching like videos on YouTube. That is not the same, because I did that for a couple months beforehand.
I
so
did, yeah. Me
TM
too.
is different, right?
It's definitely different. I did meditation, the guided meditations, for about 6-7 months before I found TM meditation, and then I contacted Marty. You have to talk before you actually do the meditation, but you know, it is natural. It is a very easy process, and I have found great effects. Not just for, and I want to share with not just Megan, but also for kids.
So guys,
we're going to talk about that in a minute too.
Also, now Megan's kids, come on in, guys.
Say hi.
This is Megan's kids. So guys, one of the things that's cool about meditation, they just got here because they're going to be doing their instruction with Marty later today as well. So they're here because the 4 of them are going through meditation, right? So that's really the point that we wanted to talk today about too. But before that, I want to get to Amy because Amy, you're the National Director of Transcendental Meditation for Nurses. And Amy, I'm sure that you understand there are probably tons of ways that TM helps nurses and even caretakers or anyone really that is taking care of others.
Right, right. You know, the thing is that we're all leading very hectic lives. We've all overscheduled our days. All of us, we're so outward directed with technology and everything. And as Marty said, what Transcendental Meditation does is it allows us to take an inward direction and experience this really restorative rest to the mind and the body that's different from relaxation or sleep, that allows these stresses to dissolve. And the other thing that happens, other than stress release and relief from fatigue, is that TM really connects us with our inner nature, with our inner fulfillment, with our inner happiness. And that really starts to grow inside of us as we practice the TM technique over time. And it almost becomes as though we're not dependent on an outside influence to make us happy, because we're really touching that happiness deep within us. And for nurses, and this is my passion because I've been a nurse for over 40 years and I've practiced TM since 1973, and it saved my nursing career, I can tell you. Nurses, more than anybody probably, know that there's a need for self-care, because you cannot keep on giving as a nurse. You deplete yourself over time, no matter how much you love the profession. You know, it's like in the airplane. Marty and I were talking about this today. The stewardess says to you, when the oxygen mask drops, put it on yourself first, take care of yourself first, and then turn to the person next to you and help them. And that's how it is for nurses. They need to take care of themselves first. And the statistics are they're horrifying. You know, that 40% of nurses experience nurse burnout, that 35% of new nurses leave bedside nursing within the first year of practice. I mean, it's horrifying. Nurses are the infrastructure of healthcare. So if they don't take care of themselves first, if they don't take a self-care tool like TM that will allow them to get rid of the stress that they take in all day and the fatigue, they can't stay in the profession. They can't keep doing it. So we hear from we hear from nurses, from student nurses, from hospital administrators all over the country every day. They're interested in the research. You know, there's over 380 peer-reviewed studies on the effects of the TM technique. And we've done the first study on TM in nurses ever, which I'll just tell you very quickly that the results were incredible. It was just a small pilot study. We had 27 nurses at Sarasota Memorial Hospital in Florida, and the study showed statistical significance for reduction of burnout, improvement in compassion satisfaction, reduced secondary traumatic stress, which is a type of PTSD that nurses experience, and increased resilience. So this study, we have other studies going on now, and that little pilot study with that statistical significance, which is we've presented it all over the country now, has really put us forward on some other good studies. And the other thing is, you know, I get notes from nurses all the time. I get emails from nurses all the time, and talking anecdotally, like you're talking today, about the benefits of TM. And they talk about things like reducing their alcohol intake, reducing their cigarette smoking, habits that they had been using to deal with stress have dropped off. And just really wonderful experiences that they're having, and really importantly, most importantly, that they're able to reconnect with this profession that they really love. And that's so important to be able to keep doing the profession. So this need for self-care, it's for all of us, whether you're a nurse or a parent or a student, or we just need to take that time. It's not much time, you know, 20 minutes twice a day.
Yeah.
And it makes a huge, huge difference
Well,
to be able to enjoy all aspects of our lives.
Yeah.
Amy, I want to thank you for coming in and talk to us today, because you definitely give us a very different perspective than what a lot of other people might have whenever they talk about TM. But I know myself, and my mother actually had noticed one time we were out somewhere and she thought I was going to yell at a server because she slighted us and the service was horrible and the food was bad and we're all hungry, and I'm like, meh, I don't care. And my mother's like, well, aren't you going to yell at them? And this was like probably 6 months after we meditated, and I remember being like, wow, this is the real deal. You know, it's definitely changed my life, and that's why we want Megan to do this. That's why we want Megan to go through this program, because we work so closely together that you're so on our same level, right? That I think that this is you're gonna, in 3 months, you're gonna be like, okay guys, you definitely, like, it's changed things. It's changed up things for me, and I know that it's going to change things for other people too.
Yeah, I want to add one point to this, which is looping back also to Amy, something that you said. You know, in a sense, owners of companies are caregivers. You know, they're caring for their clients, certainly, but also for their employees. And the most critical part of any business, whether it's a service industry or a product, is your people.
Yeah.
And the employees care for one another, people on their co-workers and their teams, and their families. You know, obviously, I mean, you can speak to caring for your family. And this goes not only for nursing, people that are in the, quote, care business or industries, but also we care about one another. We want to take care of oneself as well. So it's a very substantial point.
Now, I have one question quick. I think I saw something on the Facebook page or something at some point about CE credits for nursing.
Yes, Amy, you can talk about that. Yes.
I was just going to mention that, Marty, when you talked about the employer caring for their employees. We can offer 23 contact hours of continuing education for nurses when we have to renew our licenses every couple of 3 years.
Yeah.
That's a very big chunk of contact hours, and we can also offer 1 or 2 university credits for the TM course. And many hospitals now are offering tuition reimbursement to their nurses because of the continuing education. So thanks for mentioning that.
So, Amy, I want to thank you for coming in today. Marty, I want to thank you for coming as well, too. So, guys, one of the things that we're going to do, Megan's going to learn TM, her boys are going to learn TM, and we're going to check back in with them probably every once in a while. But Roman, can we get Roman to come over here? Hey, just say, come over. Give me a real positive. Watch us. Oh wait.
Here, step up.
Here, let's move this.
Come up, step up.
There you go.
Right. So you have to say real nice.
Camera.
Look at that camera.
There.
Check back next Tuesday at 2.
Check back at
Next Tuesday at 2.
One more
High
time.
five.
One more time.
One more time. Check
back at
Next Tuesday at 2.
next Tuesday at 2.
There you go.
Boom. There we go.
All
All right. So guys, I want to thank everyone for coming. Amy, thank you so much for
Thank
coming.
you.
Guys, we're going to put thank you so much for coming, Amy.
Thanks.
We're going to put in the links, guys, in the comment section below. We're going to have a place for you guys to check out TM. We're going to list a link to the Transcendental Meditation website. We're also going to link to the TM Women's Organization, and that's going to be in the comment section below. But guys, thanks so much. And before we go, Jonelle Ruff Hammaker. Who's that?
My appointment from yesterday.
Oh, well,
I
she
know.
said hello.
Oh,
Hi.
hi now.
I thought the
Hey,
name sounded
thanks for
familiar.
tuning in.
Yeah, so
I
guys,
wanted to check us out yesterday.
also high five.
Yeah.
We got our first person that chimed in while we were
That's
live.
not our mothers.
Right? Yeah, that's not our moms. So, guys, thank you so much. We'll see you guys next Tuesday too. Have a great week.
Bye, guys.
Thanks,
See ya.
guys.
Thank you.